Chapter 1. It wasn't at all unusual that Bela could neither read nor write in Russian until she was 17. Born at the dawn of the 20th century in the coastal city of Odessa, she was 15 when the October Revolution of 1917 ripped the wobbling Russian Empire apart like an old newspaper. Her mother, the widow Fruma, was a woman of strong convictions and spotless reputation. In her opinion, the proper place for a Jewish woman was the kitchen. She spent most of her time running a small kosher eatery. By the time she was 10, Bela could bake a perfect Shabbat challah, make a delicious simmus, and prepare the dough for a strudel. As she grew up, Bela shouldered more and more responsibilities, allowing the widow Fruma some time to herself. She spent this time relaxing on her favorite in the cavernous courtyard, gossiping with her bosom friend, Shendel, the apothecary's wife. It was a huge disappointment, therefore, when Bela announced her decision to attend one of the adult night schools that sprang up like mushrooms out of the moist ground following the revolution. During those feverish years, posters promoting free education wallpapered the city. The population was mostly illiterate and lacked proper appreciation of the Marxist philosophy. So, the newly minted Soviet regime decided to teach everyone who wanted to learn because somebody had to rebuild a country destroyed by the revolution and civil war. The Jewish youths, in particular, were enthralled by the possibility of finally escaping the narrow confines of the Pale of Settlement and having a real career rather than apprenticing to a trade. The widow Fruma was torn in half by this predicament. Having an educated daughter would contribute mightily to her social standing and help her business. However, she was afraid that nothing good came out of excessive knowledge. One velvety evening, Fruma sat on the courtyard bench with the faithful Shendel beside her and wailed indignantly.
If everybody is reading, who will be cooking, I'd like to know. Where's me, Shendela? I don't know what's going to happen to that Miss Sugar girl. All she talks about is school, school, school. If I knew who put that Farkakte idea in my Bela's head, I'd make that Schmendrick curse the day he was born.
Oi, Fromala, the whole world is turning upside down.
Shendel's only son of Rumala was already attending the night school and had recently changed his name to Vladimir.
Children are forgetting where they came from, eating treif and thinking they are better than their parents. Just yesterday, my Vrumala, I'll never call him that Goyish name, told me that I don't understand the importance of the class struggle. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Like there isn't enough tsuris in my life, I need another damn struggle to deal with.
What the ladies didn't know was that Vrumala Vladimir was the Schmendrick who planted the idea with the spellbound teenage Bela. His eyes blazed with the fervor of the converted.
The world is changing, comrade. The old rules don't apply anymore. The Bolshevik Revolution opened the doors for the oppressed, and we would be real nebbishes if we didn't walk through them into the bright future. This is the time to be whoever we want to be. No longer Jews or Russians, but the free citizens of the Soviet Republic.
But what about my mother and your parents, Avrumala? They need help running the business and...
Don't call me by that ghetto name! My name is Vladimir, and I want to be an engineer, not an apothecary like my father. There is nothing in the world that will stop me now. Don't tell me you want to spend your whole life in your mother's kitchen. Look me in the eye and tell me that I am wrong.
He wasn't wrong, of course. Bela was smart, if illiterate, and couldn't fail to notice that the world around her was changing at breakneck speed. Before the people who ate kosher food melted away like the superficial Odessa snow. Some emigrated while they could. Some were quickly divested of their earthly possessions by the hordes of government expropriators. And some, like Avrumala Vladimir, were trying to blend in by getting rid of their Jewish identity. Fruma's business slowed down to a trickle, and ultimately the night school idea shifted from outlandish to prudent. Humid night in September. Bala entered the dilapidated schoolhouse and signed up for classes.